Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about around draft season, and that is how to find hidden gems and value, specifically in the second round. Well, everybody talks about the top of the draft, and that's all natural, and I think at 4 and 15, the Bulls can get hell of a players. There are some players definitely that stand out in the second round. They have tons of potential that I think should be on the Chicago Bulls board in the second round. So in today's episode, we're talking about some of my favorite prospects that are projected to go into the second round of this draft. We're getting into all that plus more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. It's my favorite part to do in this draft is always talk about players that I feel like have some hidden value, right? Now, a lot of you guys have brought up some of these players over the last weeks. I do have one player on this list that I think the Bulls should go after with pick number 56 that I haven't heard talked about a lot, but we're going to talk about him here today. But let's talk about my favorite players to potentially go in the second round of this draft. First player that I want to talk about is Bryson Miller, right? Let's talk about Bryson Miller. And I look at this guy, the forward out of Cincinnati, 6'11", 208 pounds, the ridiculous wingspan when it comes down to it. This guy is a long, versatile weapon. Like, he has a 7'2" wingspan at 6'11". So, yes, he's only 208 pounds, but, I would not be surprised if this guy ends up developing into one of those more mobile kind of do-it-all centers that we're seeing the league kind of prioritize, especially with that 7'2" wingspan. He understands how to use his length. He makes it very impactful on the defensive side of the ball. And I think the versatility that he has in multiple type of lineups to guard multiple positions could absolutely be crucial in where he can find his value at in the NBA. Honestly, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I would not be surprised if somebody ends up taking him at the end of the first round. Somebody, of course, right now, most people are projecting Terrence Reed to be that guy to go at the end of the first round, and that's still very likely. But I do think a guy like Bryson Miller could absolutely go at the end of the first round for a team that's looking at tremendous value for a young player that just offers so much potential. He was a senior in high school, but I love the upside of this kid. He's shown so much potential. Now, one of the downsides to him is that while he has flashed potential offensively, it's been very, very inconsistent at this point of his career, right? So his ability to handle the ball, finish at the rim, all that type of stuff, it's there. He just has to build, I think, more confidence in that and his jumper as well. He's not a really good free throw shooter, which is going to make him kind of easier to guard at the next level if he cannot figure that out. But if this guy develops his offensive game and gets tightens up his strengths even more and shores up some of those weaknesses, it's going to be great. The defensive versatility, the finishing around the rim, the flashes that he has of playmaking, and all the physical tools in the world, this guy has all the makeup to be a modern player in the NBA. You just got to wonder if he's going to put it together. The shooting confidence is, like I said, is the biggest concern for Bryson Miller, and he's turnover prone right now. So the turnovers, the confidence in his shot, the free throw shooting, those are things that are going to have to get tightened up for him, as well as the foul trouble that he gets into. But if he can shore those things up, this guy's a very high upside prospect with all those physical tools that you look at. I think the Bulls can do very well by drafting him here in the second round. The next player I want to talk about, Trevon Brazile. This is a guy who at 6'10", 230 pounds, crazy athleticism out the wazoo, right? 7'4" wingspan. This is why I do think that this guy could eventually just be a center at the next level, because he's already 230 pounds, 6'10", 7'4" wingspan. This guy is a very productive shot blocker. 1.6 blocks his senior year, 1.4 blocks over the entirety of his collegiate career as well. And the switchability that he brings to the defensive side of the ball is not something that you can look out for. This is a guy that can guard out on the perimeter. He's going to be able to guard the rim as well. He can switch out to guards, which is really important in modern switchability of the NBA. I really like this guy. He's also very efficient around the rim as well, right? You look at him, he started 35 out of 36 games at Arkansas in his final season as well. And I do think that this guy, when left unguarded, there shows he's 40% on unguarded threes, which I think shows that he can be a really good three-point shooter. If he works that out while having the rim protection and the switchability defensively, man, that's going to be something that's really good. Now, at 34% on 3.7 threes per game, so that, he's not really a volume three-point shooter, but if he can keep that efficiency and that effectiveness up, I love this guy, and he's a really effective positional rebounder as well. This guy has skills on top of skills on top of skills, and that's why he's projected to be one of the first players taken in the second round of this draft, but I don't know how you don't fall in love with him. Next up, Zuby Ejiofor, the forward out of St. John's, 6'8", 245 pounds as well. This is another senior. You're going to get a lot of the older prospects here in the second round. This is a guy that, at minimum, if nothing else, if he doesn't work out the skill-wise, at minimum, he is going to be a high-energy big man force that I think brings toughness, that constant activity around the basket, which is really good that you want to see him from. He's going to be a really good rim protector at the next level as well. He has that high motor, toughness, physicality. He's going to be able to impact winning because he gives a damn. He's not the best self-creator, so you're going to need your guards to create for him, that and in transition, but he has the defensive tools. He has all of that. Rebounding is amazing. Like, he's going to be a really good rebounder, rim protector at the next level, really good finisher around the rim. The post defense on ball is good, and he's a rim runner. Like I said, like this is one of those guys that he's going to probably go top of the second round, and I would not be surprised at all if he ends up giving an impact for whatever team drafts him right away as a rookie because of just how many of the things that you look at for big man, high motor, high energy big man to bring consistently. He can do that, and he's done that the entirety of his collegiate career. The motor is ridiculous. There's no concerns about the motor when it comes down to him. Now, what's his natural position going to end up being? We'll see, but forward, center, I think he can work out of that. The biggest concerns with him are the no self-creation for real, but I'm not really worried about that so much as a big, especially if he rounds out being a center. Decision-making, again, not necessarily the best decision-making. His passes out of the short roll and on pick and roll when he gets double teamed, it could be a lot better, to be honest with you. And also, he doesn't have a lot of range on his shot. His jump shot is really underdeveloped. I don't know how much range he's going to get on that shot, but you'll see. Foul discipline, that needs work, but that's going to be with all the kind of bigs at this level of this draft, and really in any level of the draft. Like, bigs get in foul trouble early, and it takes them a couple of years to really learn how to defend with that physicality without getting the foul calls and adjust to how they're going to be called and officiated. But I think this is a guy that's smart enough to be able to work that out over the course of his career. So I'm not too worried about it, but as far as immediate impact, you could have some foul concerns when it comes down to him. But I think overall, just the bottom line on Ejiofor is that high-energy big man, real defensive upside that you can't deny. The upside that he brings to a team defensively, you can't bring on that. His long-term ceiling is going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on how much he can, how much offensive versatility that he projects, and how good his defense translates to the next level. But I like him a lot. Next up, Ryan Conwell, the guard out of Louisville. I covered him on an episode on one of the Dream Draft boards not too long ago. 6'10", 214 pounds, a senior as well. And while, it's a little bit iffy on small guards, I look at this guy. He has the wingspan, right? Has a really solid wingspan. And he's tough, and he's a physical guard. Like, there's something about those smaller guards, though, that still play physical. Some smaller guards you worry about because they don't really adapt to the physicality of the NBA. I'm not really worried about that too much with Ryan Conwell. I think he's going to be good. He impacts winning. That's a big thing as well. He competes on both sides of the ball. That speaks to that toughness that I talked about before. He's a smart defender. He doesn't take unnecessary risk when it comes down to it. Physical, tough guard. Shot making, great. Efficiency. He understands and knows his strengths as a player, and he plays to that strength. And that's the benefit of getting one of these seniors in this draft, that typically they understand who and what they are as players a little bit more and what their limitations are, so they come in more so ready to give their strengths. The physicality is strong, really solid passer as well. The motor is ridiculous. This is a kid that has that motor that we like of Chicago players, and if he's drafted by the Bulls, I think he's going to be really good. Some of the concerns with him, the on-ball shot creation for himself could be a little bit lacking at times, right? He doesn't have necessarily the quickest first step, and his handle isn't the best. He has a very limited set of dribble moves, but he knows how to use them to set up, if that makes the sense. But he still has that as well. He's not going to be one of the guys that's a very switchable defender either. In pick and roll, he's going to struggle a little bit. And quicker guards, he's going to have a little bit of a problem with at the next level. And then, of course, the positional fit. He feels like more of a wing, but he's undersized to play that. So he's probably going to be forced to play undersized two guard. And I don't know if he'll ever be a starter in the league, but I do think that he can be one of those change of kind of momentum guards coming off the bench at minimum. And maybe in the right situation, if you develop him right and put the right time and energy into him, maybe you can get a solid starter out of there. But I'd be a little bit concerned about that as well. But this guy that's strong, competitive, has the toughness that you look at. I think that he's the type of player that Chicago Bulls fans typically gravitate towards and fall in love with. And we'll see if he ends up having that. And then the last player on this list, somebody that I have not seen talked about a lot at all, and that's Keyshawn Hall. Keyshawn Hall, 6'6", 227 pounds, a senior out of Auburn. He's also played with Central Florida, George Mason, and UNLV over the course of his collegiate career. This is a guy that's just skilled. He's really, really skilled, and he has the ability to score against anybody. He scored against some of the top competition in NCAA basketball, right? He's a lefty as well that has that hitch to his jumper a little bit too. But I think that he knocks down his shots efficiently. He has range in regards to that. He has fluidity, he has a score. Everything offensively is really good when it comes down to it. The biggest problem with him, and you may hear or wonder, well, why is a player that has that much offensive range and capability projected to go so low in the second round? And it's the defense. He doesn't really give the best effort defensively. He has mental lapses on the defensive side of the ball, right? And I think that because he has focused so much on offense, he hasn't really developed that defense as well. And at the next level, the position is going to remain a little bit unclear. At 6'6", 227 pounds, he does have a unique skill set offensively, and that's why I wouldn't be mad taking a shot at him at number 56. Definitely not at pick 38. I think that you can get much more kind of polished and proven prospects at pick number 38. But at pick number 56, I would definitely, the Bulls end up keeping that pick, I would definitely take a shot of him. He'll probably spend a couple of years in the G League, make that a little bit more exciting as well. But he understands how to use his frame. The shot creation is there. The scoring versatility is there. I also say this, he does use the one thing he does on defense is he knows how to use his length to get in passing lanes, which I think is a pretty good thing that you can say for a player that's a weak defender, but he can at least do that. And he also has flashed some pretty solid potential as a passer, but the defensive consistency, that's a big thing there. And the lack of a true position, at least in the NBA court, is a little bit there. And he's not the biggest athlete either in the world. And so scorers that aren't athletic, how do you view that? We'll see. But this is a guy that's extremely skilled. He's physically imposing. He has the size mismatch most times than not. He's 23. He's going to be 23 years old on draft day. I really like this kid, especially at pick number 56. At that point, if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. Even if he ends up giving a couple of exciting years in the G League, so be it. But he's somebody that at 56, I definitely would be willing to bet on. I definitely would be willing to take a shot on him. And if you do end up developing him, you can have a bench scorer on your team. You never know. So that's really the guys that really stand out in the second round. Let me know your guys if anybody else kind of stands out in that second round for you guys personally. But let's go ahead and get into the mailbag. It is Sunday, so it means it is mailbag day. This first voicemail, this one's from Jeremy.
Hey, what's up, Haize? This is your boy Jeremy down here in Oklahoma. Just had to touch on a few things. The draft's coming up real soon, man. You're doing a great job. It's so exciting. I can't remember the last time it was this exciting to be a Bulls fan. I told my wife, this is, it's monumental. Between the front office, the coach, the draft picks this year. This is, it's going to change our course of direction. It's just, it's exciting. I can't remember the last time I was so excited to be a Bulls fan. So, as far as the young players, take whoever we can get it for, 15. We got an opportunity to get 3 young, good players. I'm a big fan of Noah. I think everybody's sleeping on Noah Essingay, myself. The kid's 7 foot. He's long, he's lengthy, he seems hungry. So I just think if he develops the new guys, Giddey, Mattis, we have a lot of length out there, a lot of guys that can run up and down the floor. I can't wait. I agree with you, Haize. I think, like Leonard Miller and them guys, probably get a chance, especially the first year, let Tiago kind of see what we're dealing with, but I'll be bandwagon. You can mark it down that, Jay Remy in Oklahoma, I'm calling my shot with Noah Essingay, though. And the kid has heart. I think him and Mattis, that's the cornerstone of our future, and we're only going to build on it from here. So tell me what you think, bro. Sorry off with the longest time. Be red and peace out.
People have overlooked Noah Essengay, I think in part because, of course, he's an AK pick. And then I think also because he got injured last season, kind of the out of sight, out of mind thing. And, people here, like they've done it in this draft. They heard the Raw thing and they automatically go to, oh, Raw means that he's not going to be able to play at the NBA. He's P. Will. Like Noah Essengay has, I think his value initially is going to be defensively, a rim runner, and protecting the rim, right? And finishing around the rim on putbacks. That's what he needs to live off of at first. But he still has tons of upside. It's up to him to prove it, especially with the new regime in. It's up to him to prove, like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm here worth investing in, and I'm ready to go. And if he proves that, great. Because like you said, like this guy has some talent that's worth trying to develop. And if you do develop it and find that you do have, even if he ends up just being like one of those rotational bigs for you, I think that it works out. And now that he's grown reportedly to 7 feet as well, not to say that automatically means that he can play center just because he's 7 feet. He still has to put on the weight to do that. But I think this is going to be a guy that plays multiple positions over his NBA career, and it may adjust and grow as he grows as a player and as a human as well. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Vaughn. Alt Vaughn, actually.
Yeah, what's good, Haize? This is Vaughn from Indianapolis. I believe this is my second voicemail this week. But in any case, a lot of y'all shows, and you and obviously when you with your guys, focuses on, how will someone fit with Modest? How will one of the new guys fit with Modest? Obviously, we don't have these other players on the team, so I understand how you're saying how Tiago is going to better develop him, because we don't know what rookie we're going to get. We don't know what free agents we're going to get. But how about the question be, how in the hell does Modest fit with one of them? Like, if we get a free agent, I know there's not a great crop, or if we draft a guy, they could become the man right away. And, Modest wouldn't be, the first talented guy to play third fiddle or whatever. That's what happened with Lamar Odom. He probably did as much as Kobe and Gasol from a talent standpoint, but he was number 3. So I don't think we need to dismiss that possibility, because I'm going to tell you straight up, if Peterson falls to 4, it's his team from jump. In the rare chance the Bulls drafted a cuff, it would be his team from jump. So I think we need to quit acting like, Bryson Graham came out in his presser and anointed someone, that they're going to build around. Because if I remember correctly, he didn't anoint any damn body. And sometimes more is said without saying it. I think that's across the board with coaches. So again, let's entertain that possibility. I know it's probably a little difficult because we don't know who's going to be on the team yet, but there is that possibility that Matas complements somebody not yet on the team. Giddy's going to be Giddy. He's going to distribute the rock. He's going to rebound. So Giddy's going to be Giddy. I don't think whoever we add is going to affect him. I think it will only enhance him. But again, just to repeat myself, Matas might not be that dude. As much as Chicago wants to make him the face, let's let this shit happen organically. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Vaughn, man, you got to get over your dislike of Modest because he's white. It shines through because some of the stuff, me and you have personal conversations outside of it, but when you call in for voicemails like this, it really just seems targeted rather than actually adding anything of value to the conversation. Nobody is saying that anybody on this Bulls roster is just the guy that you absolutely build around right now, but he has shown himself to be a player that at this stage you build with, and you are going to consider fit when you're building a team, because if you don't consider fit, that's when you have players that you don't necessarily are able to develop and maximize the best because you're not thinking about the fit of the guys that you have. You want to think, if you truly think somebody is somebody that you're at least building with, you do have to think about that fit to a degree. I'm not saying it has to be the end all be all, but it does have to be that. And as far as him being that dude, I don't think anybody's crowning him to be that yet. We're just saying that he has potential that's worth developing and paying into and seeing what you can get out of it. All right, let's get into this next one, man. This one's from a caller on the opposite side of Montes, and this is from TJ.
Yo, what's up, Haize? Been a while. It's TJ from the low end, bro. Been a lot of good news coming in about the Bulls and stuff recently. Not even recently. This whole summer just been a banger. I'm not even gonna lie to you, G. Feels great to be a optimistic Bulls fan right now, even though I'm still a little cautious. But all that brings me to this point. I've been seeing a lot of people basically, I'm not going to say they down or out on Modest, but it's I've been seeing a lot of the professionals have a differing opinion on Modest than I do. Me personally, especially based off his personality and the step forward he took last year, I truly do believe that Modest could be like a 1A, 1B type of player. But according to like a lot of the analysts, and I believe you said something similar to this as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But I feel like a lot of people don't see him as that, or they don't really see that he can, basically reach that level of greatness, I suppose. They more so see him as a part of the system and not being the person who could be like the center of the system. I wanted to basically pick your brain on what is it that y'all seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, what makes y'all believe that he's not gonna be that? Like, what doubts are y'all having about Modest's game that he basically needs to keep fixing and keep working upon in order for him to become that in y'all view? So yeah, man, that's it, man. Stay blessed. See you in the draft next week, man. It's gonna be great. Alright, C-Red, y'all. Further greatness, more to come, of course. Peace.
Now, much like I said with Vaughn, and this is where it comes being able to be objective to both sides. I don't think you can say that Modest has shown himself to be a 1A, 1B, or anything yet. He's shown himself to be an NBA starter that has tons of potential and upside to do a lot of different things over the course of his NBA career, but he's still too raw, too inconsistent in some areas to say exactly what he's going to be yet. And I mean that good and bad. Like neither good nor bad, really just real. Like you can't really say what Modest is going to be yet because he's not consistent defensively. He's had some flashes on ball, off ball is still a struggle. Of course, he's had some flashes scoring wise, but even his shooting can be inconsistent. And then you got to see how players develop as well once they are the guy on the scouting report and teams are building their game plan to try to take some away from you. And he's going to face some of that this season as well. So, it's just about the continued growth for Modest. He's not he's not nearly a finished product yet. And that's a good thing because if he's not nearly finished yet and he's already shown us some flashes, now how much consistency can you get out of those flashes? That's the question for Modest, and we'll get to see it here. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one is from David.
Hey, this is David. From Rosemont, first time caller, long time listener. Thank you so much for your show, man. I really love it. And you're right. I've been listening for so long. You're being an algorithm. I didn't even know that I was never subscribed to you. So I officially have subscribed to you. Great show. So I'm pumped for this season with the Bulls, man. I think Bryson is doing a great job. And now with this Tiago Splitter hiring, I'm even more excited. So my question to you is, what do you think about the hiring? I've heard what you thought on one episode. Just what do you think in general about his hiring? What do you expect in the future with Tiago? What his system is going to be like? How he's going to run the show? And what will be his staff? Who do you think he'll bring over? What type of staff do you think he'll run? So just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. I'm very excited about this Bulls season. I'm really excited about the future. Great, keep making great contact. Really appreciate everything you do, man. Thank you. Peace.
I think Tiago's system is going to be built all around developing and forcing players kind of into some uncomfortable situations to force that growth. But they're going to have a development plan. They're going to get out in the open court. They're going to, run more actions in the half court as well. They're going to do those things. But I think that so much of the system is going to be built around what they have as a team that is really hard to say. We have the ideas that he likes, the philosophies that he likes, but how much he's going to be able to execute that, and he's going to try to play to the player's strength. We can see that adapt over time. So I think overall the biggest thing that you can see from it is that they are going to develop and they are going to have a plan for development, which we've lacked here. As far as who's going to be on the staff, I think both Wes Unseld and Dan Craig have a really good chance to stick around. First-time permanent head coach in Tiago Splitter, two of the more respected assistants around the league. You already have those guys in the building. Now, I think Tiago should make that decision, but it's kind of hard to predict assistants because coaches can go really anywhere based off where they've been, history, and relationships. So we'll see. But I do think Wes Unseld and Dan Craig have a really good chance to stay on. All right, let's get into this last voicemail for today, man. This one's from Brian Washington.
Hey, what's up, Haize? It's your boy Brian Washington from the West Side. I like the ideas of Boozer and Ademar. I love Caleb Wilson, you know what I'm saying, but I think Boozer will bring that type of Karl Malone, long-term stability to the team, and you know what I'm saying, what we need. Caleb Wilson will also bring the excitement that the city needs, the team needs, you know what I'm saying? I love Caleb Wilson, but I think Boozer would be the safer pick. But even if we get neither one of them, I like Peterson. And Graham just going to have to, you know what I'm saying, do good in free agency. But I still think either way, he got a lot to work with, and he can still build this team without jumping out the window at some of these trade scenarios everybody throwing out there. A lot of them sound good, but I don't think he really have to go so hard this year, his first year. He got a little talent on the team right now. You know what I'm saying? You just got to mix it together and do good in free agency. He got lucky with the draft. Maybe he get lucky picking the right players. You know what I'm saying? So he don't really have to go and jump out the window at a lot of these trades that's out there. They sound good, but at the same time, he got a lot to work with and can still build a competitive team. Just do good in free agency. And add a couple of 5 or 6 year veterans, not them old ass people, them old veterans. You know what I'm saying? Giannis, all that shit, and Durant and whoever. That shit is about to be over with. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's still in good position to build a competitive team without doing so much, and he can just go along. Because I think he's building this team for long term. Because I think he's going to be in office for a long time, and I think that's why he's taking his time on finding the right coach, looking at all players and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to sit back and let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? See how it plays out. Because he always can do trades in the middle of the season. You know what I'm saying? If shit ain't looking good, and next year, you know what I'm saying? He got time. So, and he's in a good position to work with what he got right now and still be competitive. And when I say competitive, I look at the San Antonio Spurs. They got first, second, and third year players leading them to the finals. So the NBA is changing, and you never know what the fuck can happen. So I'm a Bulls fan, so I'm always want to win a championship this year. I don't care how fucking much of rookies we are and how young the team is. Shit, anything could happen these days. The way these young players are coming in the league and playing. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bronson was a 33rd pick or whatever, something like that. I mean, shit, he's a superstar, MVP. So you never know what he can draft and what the future can look like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting him.
What I call it is structured patience is really what we need to have. Structured patience, right? Make moves that make sense, but you don't have to try to hit a home run anytime soon. You don't have to do that. Well, as far as trades or free agency, you like try to do that through the draft players that you think are going to turn into home runs, but you don't have to try to hit a home run right now. Do it patient, like build organically over time through the draft. It's going to take time. That's why we keep hearing them say it's going to take some time here, because it is and it will. And that's usually the route to the most sustainability once you do get your build where you want it to be. So it's going to take some time. And I know that Bulls fans are a little bit impatient, but it will take some time. And I think that that's the right path to go with it. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Chicago Bulls Central. Y'all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us. Well, first, before that, let me know your thoughts down on everything down below as far as the second round. Thank you to all the voicemail callers as well, man. Thank you for you guys just tuning in and rocking with me. You know, I always appreciate you there. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode or an upload. You can follow us at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See you right if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Breaks